Hello everyone! Today we are going to take a look at the third guild kit for the second Ravnica set. Keep forgetting the names of those sets, they all look alike. And today it is Rakdos, the Lord of Riots. Right, today's setup, as you have noticed, is a bit boring. I'm at the attic today. Because downstairs my usual filming place is filled with Lego sets. Because today, well, actually since a couple of weeks, I am planning to open up a second YouTube channel, one for Lego. And so it is quite full of that. So let us see what we have in this deck today, because that is for another concern later. Of course we have the pamphlet, which I love. We have a sticker of Rakdos. And we have a deck box for Rakdos, which fits a 60 card sleeved deck. Then we have a black die with red numbers and the Rakdos logo. Very cool. Let's decorate this a bit. And of course we have the Rakdos pin. Very nice pin. Very strong pin. And as our feature card here we have Rakdos, the Lord of Riots. It's a 4 mana legendary creature. It's a 6/6 flying trample and you can't cast this spell unless an opponent lost life this turn. Creatures you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. Alright. So here is the pamphlet. Let's take a look. Deck list. And on the other side we have Rakdos and some art. The fantastic, sensational art of Rakdos living. Never suffer alone. That's selfish. Pain is meant to be shared with others. Revel in your pain, in all pain, for it is freedom. No wound compares to the suffering of a dull, law-abiding life. Make a grand spectacle of your pain and play to your audience. If they aren't screaming, laughing, or both, your performance has failed. Blood and fire look good on everyone, and make excellent decorations. Always be creative, especially in your bloodiest ventures. New modes of carnage delight the Lord of Riots, and it is wise to seek his favor. Lovely. So this is more of a promotional flyer for the circus that is Rakdos. And yes, it didn't always function as a circus in the lore. So, and we can most definitely see that in all the new art. I'm only going through the rares. The rest, it's a bit tedious to go through every single card, I guess. Rixmadi Reveler. It's a 2 mana 2/2 with Spectacle 4. When Rixmadi Reveler enters the battlefield, discard a card and draw a card. If Rixmadi Reveler's Spectacle cost was paid, instead discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. Cool. You can see him juggling. Lysolda, the Blood Witch. Oh, that's a long time ago. It's from Dissension. Way back, the first Ravnica block. For 3 mana we get a 3/1 legendary creature. For 2, sacrifice a creature. Lysolda the Blood Witch deals 2 damage to any target if the sacrificed creature was red. Draw a card if the sacrificed creature was black. Then we have an Avatar of Discord, also from Dissension, for 3, which is hybrid, red or black. 5/3 flying, and when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you discard 2 cards. Spawn of Mayhem, very nice. This is a mythic for the box. Very cool card indeed. For 4, we have a 4/4 flying trample with Spectacle 3. And at the beginning of your upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. Then if you have 10 or less life, put a +1/+1 counter on Spawn of Mayhem. Sweet. Rakdos Pit Dragon, also from the original block. For 4, we have a 3/3. Which has 2 abilities. For 2 red, it gains flying on turn of turn. And for 1 red, it's basically fire breathing. +1/+0 on turn of turn. Then it has Hellbent. Rakdos Pit Dragon has double strike as long as you have no cards in hand. Hellbent was the original Rakdos signature move, if you will. from the original block. Master of Cruelties for 5. It's a mythic. I believe it was from Dragon's Maze, I believe it was from Dragon's Maze. It's a 1/4 first strike Death Touch, and it can only attack alone. And when it attacks a player and isn't blocked, that player's life total becomes 1. Master of Cruelties assigns no combat damage this combat. So it doesn't matter how big it is, if it's not blocked, your opponent has only 1 life left. Carnage Hellsteed. This was also the pre-release promo for Ravnica's City of Guilds. No. Return to Ravnica, sorry. Return to Ravnica. With a stamp on it, a date as such. For 6 mana, Carnival Hellsteed. 5/4 first strike and haste with Unleash. You may have this creature enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. It can't block as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. Right. Rakdos the Defiler from the very first block as well. Dissension for Rakdos. 6 mana legendary creature, 7/6 flying trample. It still has those same attributes. Whenever it attacks, sacrifice half the non-demon permanents you control, rounded up. Whenever Rakdos deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices the half the non-demon permanents they control, rounded up. Sweet. Udvara Hellkite, also from Return to Ravnica. 8 mana, 6/6 flying. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, create a 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying. Dreadbore, also Return to Ravnica. For 2, it's a sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Theater of Horrors. For 3, it's an enchantment, and at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. During your turn, if an opponent lost life this turn, you may play cards exiled with Theater of Horrors. And for 4, it deals 1 damage to target opponent or player. Demon Fire. I don't remember what set this was from, but I want to say Dissension. So it's 1 red and X. Sorcery, it deals X damage to any target. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. And Hellbent, right, Hellbent, so basically it's most likely Dissension, yes. If you have no cards in hand, the spell can be countered and the damage can be prevented. Rakdos' Return, 2 mana and X. It deals X damage to target opponent or planeswalker. That player or that planeswalker's controller discards X cards. And this was from Return to Ravnica as well. Then we have some tokens. 5 dragons. And on the other side we have a goblin, another goblin, another goblin, another goblin, another. So there are only 2 types of token in this one. A 2/1 goblin and a 6/6 flying dragon. Cool. Now then, we have some uncommons and commons. The Rakdos Cackler, 2 mana. This was actually quite a good card when it was first released in Return to Ravnica. Really stood out. Thrill Kill Assassin. Rakdos Guild Mage. Also has a special full art promo. Very cool. Rakdos Shred Freak, Splatter Thug, Jagged Puppet, Crypt Champion, Rakdos Fire Wheeler. We have a Blade Juggler. Then we have a Rakdos Carnarium. Right, Rakdos Guildgate, 2 different arts, most recent ones. And then we have the Rakdos Lands. We have the Swamps, 8 of these. And the Rakdos Mountains, also 8 of these. Then we have Riot Spikes, Rakdos Signet, very useful, and we get 2 of these. Rakdos Charm, also not too bad. Rakdos Key Rune. Skewer the Critics, lovely, basically a lightning bolt if played well. Augur Spree, Dead Revels, Cackling Flames, a Wrecking Ball, and we have a split card, Carnival and Carnage. Right, so that's the Rakdos deck. As you can see, there's a lot of juggling and skewering the critics. So yeah, that's basically the Circus of Ravnica. Didn't always used to be like that, but now it is. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow we will take a look at one of the other 2 remaining guild decks. So see you all then. Bye bye.